Hey folks, doing something a little different today. Bought this cheap Ibanez Geo at the local guitar store, and I'm going to be removing frets 13 through 24, and when I'm done it should look something like what you're seeing on the screen right now. So yeah, this should be an interesting little project, so stay tuned. This ought to be fun. Already picked up some of my supplies from a local craft store. Got some blue acrylic paint to mix with the epoxy, some little disposable cups to mix it in, and some paintbrushes to hopefully be able to fill in the fret lines once I pull the frets off. Hey guys, disembodied voice of future James here. I noticed something funny as I was taking the strings off. As soon as I started pulling them out of the back of the guitar, these little black caps in the guitar body started coming out with the ends of the strings. What the f***? I just super glued these back in. It was a quick and easy fix, but an annoying distraction nonetheless. Another funny thing happened off camera that you can't really see. As I was unbolting the neck, one of the bolts actually had an extra washer under it, almost as if they drilled one of the holes too deep. It almost seems like they improvised and just threw a zinc-coated washer in there just to make up for the extra space. Nonetheless, an interesting choice. Alright, got the neck off. We're in the garage now. I got some nice pinchy pliers here to help me pull the frets off. And since it's pretty cold, I might put the neck in front of that heater for just a couple seconds to help heat it up a little. Help it expand. Hopefully it works out. We'll see. Okay, frets are all off as far as I needed to go. I hit my knuckle probably 5 or 6 times taking, I think it was this one off. So that was fun. This wood flaked quite a bit taking those off. It's probably just the cheap wood because it just started, when I peel it up, it would just take the wood with it. So hopefully this will work out to my advantage and I'll be able to fill in those low spots with blue epoxy. So I guess we'll see when I get to that point, but for now I'm gonna sand it, get it a little bit cleaned up, and then do some tests with the glue. So tally ho! I'm not gonna lie, this stuff looks really cool, but it smells absolutely horrible. Like the complete opposite of how it looks. It's like the forbidden cupcake frosting right here. Alright, so did a second coat. It's probably about as even as I'm gonna get it. I think I layered it a little bit too thick, so I'm probably gonna be sanding my frickin' arm off tomorrow. But nonetheless, it's pretty evenly spread out. I guess I will just let this dry overnight and hope for the best tomorrow. Like I said, probably gonna kill my arm sanding all that off, but we'll see. Hopefully the fret grooves are full. I'll update you guys when I get to that point.
2 days later.
So, as expected, there was absolutely no way I was going to get all of that epoxy off just by hand sanding it. I eventually broke out the air sander just to get the bulk of it off, but after I got most of the thick stuff off, I just started alternating between hand sanding and using the air sander. I had to be careful to balance not gouging the wood with the air sander and getting all the blue stuff off, but in the end it actually turned out pretty good and the grooves filled up pretty nicely. Once I got done with the fretless part near the top of the neck, I decided to sand between each of the frets a little bit as well. The neck wood is kind of catchy and scratchy when you bend strings, and I didn't like the feel of it, so I decided to try to smooth it all out just a little bit before I finished up the project. Here I'm just cleaning up the wood with some rubbing alcohol, and then finishing it off with some orange glow to condition it. After this, it's ready to put the strings back on and reassemble the guitar. Alright guys, final result turned out pretty decent. I was hoping the blue would stick out a little more than it does. It's kind of subtle as is, but it's kind of cool that when you get up to it, you notice there's some color there. I also really like how the blue kind of filled in where the frets chipped the wood when I was pulling them out. Kind of looks like water dripping down or just like maybe paint smears or something like that. But heck, either way, it turned out pretty good. And now, of course, the moment you've all been waiting for. What's it sound like? Well, in conclusion, I can definitely say this is not within my comfort zone. It's very weird to play. And because of the fact there's still frets on it, means you can't really adjust the strings to be like a true fretless and closer to the neck. So you actually have to push like way harder up here to get any sort of decent tone out of it. And of course, as you may have noticed more or less in the playthrough, there's really no sustain up here on the higher register. But it's still really fun to do some kind of weird slidey stuff here and there. Overall, I think this whole project was a success, and hopefully you guys enjoyed me noodling around until I made something work. So I hope to do more stuff like this soon, and thanks for watching.